If she wants war, she's got it. I married that man. Even if it started as a show, he's mine now. Tina had been on a mission. She planned romantic dates, a sunset picnic in the park with champagne and strawberries, an afternoon at the local art museum — he loved the history behind paintings — and a dinner at an upscale rooftop restaurant. "I'm busy, Tina," Elijah would say. "You promised to give me anything I wanted." She would smile sweetly. "This is what I want." He would sigh, but then nod. "Fine, I'll clear my evening." Sometimes at night, she would creep into his bed with a timid voice. "I heard a noise on the balcony. I just need to feel safe tonight," she'd whisper. She began cooking for him, showing up at his office with homemade lunch. During Sunday service, she'd sit up front, taking notes during his sermons, then follow up afterward. "You said something today about endurance through trials," she'd say. "How do you think that applies in marriage?" He loved the way she engaged with his sermons. Someone finally listened to him with interest, not expectation. But then she came. A woman, regal in a white dress and soft curls, stepped to the front during testimony time. "I am Sister Ianda," she began, her voice smooth and sure. 12 years ago, I left this church. I left my husband. I made mistakes. But God, He's a God of second chances." The congregation leaned in. "I stand here today asking this church to forgive me. I walked away from the man God placed in my life. And now I want to come back. Not just to this church, but to my family and to my husband." Gasps echoed. Tina's eyes were locked on her, fury boiling under her skin. After service, she tried to speak to Elijah. "Elijah, we need to talk about—" "I've got people to counsel Tina," he interrupted, brushing past her. The following weeks were a slow, painful unraveling. The mamas swarmed Ianda with support. "We always said you were the rightful first lady," Mama Georgina gushed. "God restores what the devil tried to steal," another added. "We're praying for you and Pastor Elijah. He just needs to open his heart." Tina saw the shift, how people pulled away from her, how her mother was ignored at meetings, how the whispers returned. Even at home, Elijah was barely there. "Who are you always meeting with?" she asked one evening. "Church members. Counseling. Including Ianda?" she asked. He paused. "Yes." She stared at him. "Do you still love her?" "I don't know," he admitted. "I need closure. On my expense." Tina snapped. "When we married, you said, 'Don't betray me, don't cheat, and don't embarrass me.' But you've done all of that. And now you want closure." He looked down. "I didn't mean to hurt you." "But you did. You're not the only one with feelings, Elijah." That Sunday, she stood up to introduce the pastor as always. But this time, her voice was clear and strong with something else in her heart. "I've grown to love and care for my husband," she began. "He is the best man I've ever met. Every day, I've worked to be the kind of woman who brings honor to him and to this church." The room was silent. "I know I've butted heads with some of you, but I always did what I thought was best for the ministry and for my marriage." She swallowed, hands trembling. "And now I've decided to make both his life and the life of this church easier." A gasp spread through the congregation. "I'm stepping down. This is my last Sunday here. As for my marriage, my husband and I will decide that in private." Murmurs rose, but she held her ground. "To the mamas, thank you for teaching me that no matter what I do, I will never be enough. But I finally realized I wasn't here to please you. I was here for God. And with that, I say shalom." She stepped down, eyes dry, shoulders squared. Elijah couldn't even preach that day. His junior pastor filled in as he sat motionless in his seat. At home, silence hung in the air. Tina packed a bag but didn't leave yet. That evening, Elijah left. He went to Ianda's house. And that's when Tina's phone buzzed. "Mike, I've never stopped loving you. Come back to me. I'll wire you $5 million tomorrow. Just say yes. Let's start over." She stared at the screen. A choice. A way out. A new life. But with it, an old flame and the loss of everything she had tried to build. Elijah came home late that evening to find the house silent, too silent. He walked down the hallway calling, "Tina." No response. He opened her bedroom door. The bed was made, the wardrobe empty. Every trace of her was gone. He sank to the floor. "She left me," he whispered, his voice hollow. Tears threatened to fall. He thought of all the ways she tried to love him, to make their strange marriage into something real. But he was too hung up on a woman who left him without a second thought, too blind to see the woman who chose to stay every single day. "What an idiot I am," he muttered. At church, the mamas wasted no time. "She's gone. Now, Pastor, you can finally get back with Ianda. She still loves you, we can all see it." But Elijah stood up from his seat, eyes blazing. "Enough!" he shouted. The entire church turned. "To all of you trying to play matchmaker with me and Ianda, stop. You are shameless, meddling in my life like this. You're not matchmakers. You're homewreckers." Gasps echoed. The mama stood frozen. "And Ianda," he turned to his ex-wife who stood nearby, hopeful. "You left me when it mattered. And now, you're 12 years too late. I'm never getting back with you. So please stop." Tina had returned to her mother's home, her hands wrapped around a cup of tea, her eyes red. She looked at the pregnancy test in the drawer. Positive. When Mike called again, she answered only to say, "Kick rocks, Mike. I don't want your money or your life." She craved peace. Her mother's home gave her that. One afternoon, Ianda came knocking. "Can I speak with you?" she asked softly. Tina let her in. "I just need to understand, why did he fall for you?" Tina raised an eyebrow. "I didn't try to make him love me. I just showed up. I respected him. I listened to him. I stood by him when no one else would. And maybe that's what love grows from." Ianda nodded slowly. "I think you're right. And I'm sorry." A few days later, the mamas came, this time, heads bowed. "We owe you an apology," Mama Georgina said. "We treated you like an outsider, but you stood taller than any of us." Tina crossed her arms. "It's too late. But the church, we need you," one of them whispered. "I'm not coming back for you." "You never wanted me," Tina said flatly. "You only want what looks good on the outside." They left ashamed. Later, Elijah came, no church suit, just jeans and a plain shirt. His eyes held regret, but also hope. "Tina, I'm sorry," he began. "I was blind. I was stupid. But I love you. I never stopped. I was just too afraid to say it." She didn't speak. He took a deep breath. "I know I don't deserve another chance, but I want to build something real. Not for the church. For us." She smirked. "I already knew you loved me." He blinked. "You did. Your ex-wife told me," she teased. "But I forgive you." Then her expression softened. "I need time. I'm not ready to come back to the church yet. But I do have something to tell you." She placed his hand gently on her belly. "I'm pregnant." His eyes welled with tears. "A baby," he whispered. She nodded. "Yeah, a baby." Even the girls from the youth group came to see her. "We're sorry," one said. "We were jealous. We thought you stole him, but we see now you earned his love. We want you back." Tina shook her head gently. "Respect has to be real. Earned. And you need to treat the next woman leader better than you treated me." Her mother came into the room later, smiling. "You know," she said. "Dozens of people from church come by every day asking how you are. They miss you. They loved you more than you think." Tina's eyes softened. "Really? They need your strength. Not just the pastor." One Sunday, the congregation gathered as always, but this time, there was a stir. Tina walked in hand with Elijah. The church erupted in cheers and applause. Even the mamas clapped with tears in their eyes. She stepped to the pulpit, stomach slightly rounded, glowing with grace. "My name is Tina Makona," she said proudly. "Once, I was called many names. Thief, gold digger, outsider. But God, He called me daughter. I made mistakes. I've had a broken past. But I stand here, not perfect, but restored. I've learned that love is not what people say it is. It's what you do in silence. In storms. When no one is watching." She reached for Elijah's hand. "This man, my husband, loved me in his own broken way. And I loved him in mine. But now, we're building something real. Something holy. For us. For our child. And for God." Applause thundered. "And to those who judged me, thank you," she added with a smile. "You pushed me into God's arms. And that's where I found myself. The end. Beauty for ashes. A crown instead of shame. This was Tina's redemption.